Right? This is terrible audio. You know? All right, so
me and Nano joked around going, our podcast is kind of like a British series where you get like 3 episodes and then there's a hiatus, and in true British TV standards, we're coming back for the holiday special here.
Gotcha.
This is the Christmas
Yeah,
special.
the last time, what was it? Proper 12 was the last one, right?
Yeah. Well, did we do we did one after Proper 12.
it wasn't me though. It was like you and Bam or something.
Yeah. But
no, dude, I've been busy, bro. Like, I didn't tell you, but I mean, I'll talk to you a little later about it. But I'm getting into the IT field, so like, I wanted to pick your brain and shit. I think I mentioned it to you before.
Oh, okay. I don't think so. No, last I heard, you were doing the Whole Foods. Change of pace, so to say.
So that's a good note to come in on. We'll just go over what the fuck we've been up to.
All right. Well,
so I've built up the recording space that we're in right now to like kind of like
nice.
All the shit that was in my house that my wife is like, no, that's not here anymore. All my comic books, all my toys. I bought a comic book rack to put like loose.
Nice.
Fucking. So it's kind of, this has become my man cave away from home, and I get to come up here whenever I want.
Well, some would argue using the word man.
My boy cave.
There's a lot of figures here, man. Well, you know what sucks? Like, I can't talk shit because I collect like Dragon Ball figures and anime.
Whenever I see something
figurines.
cool, I'm always sending it to you, going like, "This is a good Dragon Ball."
Well, no, Pete's on the same page.
Yeah.
Pete's.
Yeah, we all do. I've got comic books. They're all of my comic books that are like lower level, like, you know, like readers and like just like regular like series that I've collected. They're on a ship. You know, I sold those, but like all my high end, like all my slabs, all my expensive books. Anything that's probably like, you know, $50 or more. Yeah. They're right now being shipped over here. All my figures.
Wait, but like how much did you keep physical?
You have to get rid of comics are heavy, man. It's like records.
Value.
It's like
numbers or value.
Well, I would say value, right? Because that's the most important. What's important to you? You know, like what do you value?
The insurance quote is $20,000.
What?
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
Wait, so you have them graded, right? Like I'm assuming.
I love like the 3-second pause in silence.
20,000. So where'd you say the shipment was exactly?
It's over the Atlantic right now.
I'm trying to think of what kind of books that would be graded that'd be worth a lot. So like you have like
first
what, like 100 books?
Black Panther. I'll just throw It's
give us 3 of your like most valuable. I would say
first appearance of Captain America, first appearance of Wolverine, first appearance of Black Panther.
Wow, that's good. I've been debating on like eBay grabbing a fucking first appearance of Wolverine just because I want to have it.
That's where I got mine.
Wait, how much is that? How much is that book?
I sniped it for $780. I got it cleaned, pressed, and slabbed, and it's worth $1,800 right now.
Nice. That's fucking good, man.
That's good. One good month I'll do it. Like when I rent out my photo booth like four weekends in a row, I'll be like, all right, got some extra cash, might
buy a $700 book.
And this is, I posted up recently, like I'll get drunk at night and then I'll be on eBay going like, oh, this is cool, I just found like a Yoda figure from like the Clone Wars and I got it for myself and I forgot about it and it came on my birthday. So like I get drunk Charles got regular Charles a fucking birthday gift and I was super stoked when I got it. I was like, holy shit,
who got me this?
Nice.
I mean, you can't see it, Pete, but we'll send you a picture. Look at this Yoda.
It's nice.
It's fucking dope. It's like from the
haven't even done
from the cartoon.
Have we even done an introduction, or we go straight into the show with no introduction?
We did the intro in the sense that we say that we don't do the show often, so this is the Christmas special. That's okay. So
this is a very
and then we'll break down what we're doing in life.
No format whatsoever.
And then we'll do the intro at the end.
Yeah.
In proper alcoholic fashion.
Exactly.
Just no order. Are you drinking right now? Do you have a drink in front of you? Because we have some rum here and it's a little early.
Do. Yes, I do.
Rum,
yes,
bourbon.
Oh, it's bourbon? Is that what we're drinking?
We're drinking Buffalo Trace bourbon. Apparently it's rare because it runs out in every store that it comes to.
It's nice.
So they'll send like 10 bottles to all the major stores and then it's gone. And you don't see it.
Yeah, it's
cheap.
right below
it's
Pappy's. It's right below Pappy's.
Yeah. It's $26 for a bottle, and it's fucking smooth, good bourbon.
But it sells out. It sells out, and actually, because I have a list of shit, because I didn't know what we were gonna do, and I know you guys talk about drinks, and I didn't know if you guys were gonna do like, your favorite drink, what's your top drinks,
man. Like I think
top spirits.
It was just more of a last minute gift ideas, because like honestly, at the end of the day, like Christmas attacks everybody, everybody's finances and their wallets get raped, but like I think the ultimate last minute gift is a bottle, right? Like that's one thing that you can get on your way to somebody's house.
In general, I kind of rebel against giving and getting gifts, just because like if I want something, I'll go buy it. I'll go buy whatever I want. Like when my wife is like, "What should I get for your Christmas?" I'm like, "Don't give me shit." Like you're gonna get something that I don't like. I know it right away.
Your gift is gonna be awful, and I hate you.
Her parents give me like pajamas. I don't wear pajamas. I sleep naked. Like there's no need for any of the shit that you're giving me. But what I do like, I can give a bottle of alcohol, and I could get a bottle of alcohol, and I'll be happy. That's a perfect gift. That's a perfect.
My wife says that I'm the worst person to buy stuff for because I'm the person that goes out and just buys it whenever I see it and I want it.
Exactly. Like I came home with like a massage gun because I saw it like on an internet. I'm telling you, like the fucking
like a
algorithm.
Vibrator?
Yeah, it's a vibrator, but it looks like a drill, and it's fucking good. I've been having these knee problems, and I saw this drill on all the Instagram ads, and I'm like, I'm gonna try. And then I was in Dick's, and I saw it there. I just bought it for myself.
Pause.
Yeah, all I heard was vibrator.
I bought a vibrator.
Dicks, and I bought it. Like I don't know what's going on.
And Mike just shut down right there. He's like, I'm done.
Yeah. First of all, it's amazing. But my girl saw it and she's like, "Oh, that's what you wanted?" And I was like, "What did you?" She's like, "I got you something similar." I'm like, "Then return it. I don't want whatever
That's terrible.
you got
That's
me."
awful, man. You should just tell her to like leave the gift receipt in there and return it when she's not like looking. You know, don't make her return it.
Or whatever, like don't give it to me. If it's something else that also massages my.
I'm just super ungrateful. Like every time I get a gift, I'm like, oh yeah, whatever, and I throw it to the side.
Yeah.
And I never really look back on it, and then a couple months later,
6
like,
months
man,
later,
I wish I had one.
You forgot.
Yeah, I forget that I had it.
or you regift it.
Oh no, I totally regift. I regift all the time. But I think bottles are something that like, except if the person's like an alcoholic and they're very
or if they like new cups or new little whatever.
It doesn't
drink
have to
things.
be. It doesn't have to be an alcoholic. Actually, you know what? I went to the store today and I had them in my hand, and I almost bought them, and I ended up putting them back on the shelf. But they're like Scotch rocks or whiskey rocks.
Okay,
but they're like
those are
these
cool.
metal stoned, or I don't know if they're stoned or metal. I don't know. They look like a combination of metal and stone, something like you would see on TV.
And you put water in it and it makes
freezer.
giant ice cubes.
No. I've had those. I've had like the
I know what you're
silicone
talking
molds
about.
where you just
It's like whiskey stones.
these
They
are
look
like-
like granite
Oh,
almost.
I get what you're saying.
it looks like
You just
granite. And you put them in the freezer and then you
it
just
stays
throw them in your
colder
glass.
longer? Okay.
And you hope that it doesn't shatter your glass when you put them in there.
That's what I was gonna
And
say.
then,
Like,
yeah.
what if you're like a couple cups in and you just drop it in and just fucking break the entire thing?
Well,
Hey, so this is Pete Rock. He's from. This is Pete Rock.
By the way,
Gamertag Radio, and he's in Switzerland right now. Is there any cool like liquor that we don't get over here in the States that's in Switzerland?
something made of chocolate.
actually, they probably do. But I don't want to say it's like right down the street, but it's like maybe like a 5-minute walk from the
5
train
kilometer
station.
walk, right down the street.
Kilometer.
It's I'll say 5 minute because that's a unit of measure that we could all understand, right? I'm not talking in freedom numbers or anything or Celsius.
Not if you're
and Fahrenheit.
Not if you're Hispanic, man. 5 minutes can correlate to like between 20 to 45 minutes. Like I don't.
All right, a 5-minute brisk walk from the train station. I'm holding it in my hand. I'm drinking it. I've been drinking it since we started recording. This is a Swiss Highland single malt whiskey from the Rugen Distillery. It's 46% by volume, so it's like 92 proof.
Okay.
Swiss Scotch. I have never heard of that.
Swiss whiskey because it's not
it's
made
not even
in
Scotch.
Scotland.
Oh, okay.
So, this is what I'm drinking, and I've maybe tapped this bottle twice since I've moved here.
But you're a pretty big like whiskey connoisseur, right? Like you have
Yes.
a decent collection.
Well, I don't have the collection anymore because I drank all of it. And I mean, at the end of the day, that's what you're supposed to do. I don't understand the concept of collecting whiskeys for long term.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've been places where people are like, they have like all these top shelf whiskeys on their thing, and they're like, oh yeah, have whatever you want. I go, are you sure I'll have whatever I want? Because a lot of
I'm
these
going for the
bottles
top.
are
I'm
going to be
going for the one all the way up there.
These bottles.
what's the most egregious drinking that you've done on the most expensive bottle?
One time, like we have a friend who's a degenerate drug user and alcoholic, but sometimes he'll spend money. Like he bought Bam a prostitute one time.
Overall, good person.
Which, yeah, again, that was, I feel like that was Bam taking advantage of him. But the one time I took advantage of him spending a lot of money, he bought us a 25-year-old Glenlivet, which was
Nice.
like fucking, like I think we got it for only like $250, maybe $300 at the most. And right now it's like $500 to buy that bottle. So it was like when it made your mouth numb. That's how good it was. It was insane. I tried to respect it, but we ended up drinking it within 2 weeks.
But you know what? Like the older I've gotten, I think the less I give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think the price matches the like you can't justify wasting $400 or $500 on something you're gonna probably drink in a couple of nights.
I mean, us, but you should one day. You know, like when you get that bonus, that Christmas bonus. And you're like, fuck, I wasn't expecting this money. Let's just spend it.
You know, my kids could use some new clothes.
Yeah,
but
no, they're good. They're good, though. We've paid everything up front, you know.
But the clothes that they wear fit, so.
I have another kid now, and he's
Capris
like,
are in, right?
He's only getting hand-me-downs. I'm not going to have to buy new clothes for a while and shit. Like, I'm good. I think I'm pretty good.
There you go. Yeah, I want to say it's like 10 years ago, I was in Seattle for PAX with Godfrey and the whole Gamertag Radio team. We were covering PAX, and I had sold my business trip to my bosses as I'm going to a Microsoft event for a week. So I was like, can I use the company card? You know, because it's a
you went all out.
Oh no! And I'm so glad I no longer work there. And they were like, okay, sure, no problem. So I got a hotel. I was staying at the Sheraton, right next door to the convention center. Paid for the flight, and you know, obviously with business trips, you can comp or expense your meals. So I was just like, all right. So I go to the bar, and the first bar I went to was at the Sheraton, and they had a bottle of Macallan 25 on the shelf, and I was like,
wait, like. I'm assuming that's between $30 to $40, right? For a little dram. Yeah.
So they were like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Well, it was a little bit more. It was 65."
That's a lot.
And granted, this was like 9-10 years ago, and they were like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yes." And so they tell the bartender. Bartender goes up, dusts off the bottle because nobody's stupid enough to buy it, and he looks at it and he looks at me, and I'm like, yes, fucking pour it. I've already asked 3 times. Just fucking pour it already. And so he pours it out. No ice, of course, because you don't want to egregiously ruin that type of scotch.
You know what? I'd be the guy to ruin it. I'd be like, yo, can you just give me like one cube?
Put some Coke in there.
You got ginger ale?
And that was in Washington?
Yeah, ginger ale, please.
That was in Washington? You said it was in Washington?
No, Seattle. Seattle, Washington.
Yeah, so when I went to Seattle.
So I drink it, and it's like.
Go ahead.
So I drink it, and it's like fucking liquid butter, right? It's just it tastes so good. It tastes so smooth and so pure. I'm like, okay, anything I drink after this is gonna be shit. So just give me well scotch after this. The next day, I went to another hotel. I don't remember the name of it, and they had a Macallan 30 on the shelf, and I was like,
you didn't. You didn't do it.
I was like, bro, you have a 30. How much is it? They're like 60. I'm like, wait.
Oh, what? $60? That's fucking.
It's 5 years older than the 25 at the Sheraton, and $5 cheaper.
Oh, that's it. You got to get it.
Pour it, my man.
Yeah, like I honestly, like I'm gonna forward this to whatever company you were working for, and they're gonna flip out, man.
After that,
okay,
go ahead. Earlier this year, sorry, we're drinking, so we're interrupting everybody.
Exactly.
Earlier this year, in my old company that I was working for, I had a business trip to the Ritz-Carlton in St. Augustine, at the top of the planet. The top of the planet. Okay, I should just stop drinking now. The top of the state, and
top of the world.
You know, they're like, okay, open bar, whatever you want. And I'm looking at the bar, and I'm like, there's a bottle of Macallan 18 up there. Are they really saying open bar? And they're like, so I walk up there, I'm like, yeah, can I have a Macallan 18? They're like, sure, pours it, hands it to me, walks away. I'm
feeling.
Like,
18 is good.
I'm like, all right. And I'm like, all right, do you have another Macallan 18? And they're like, sure.
Just keep going.
I finished the bottle in that night, and my wife had to like drag me back to the hotel room, and I'm just like, I drank a whole bottle of Macallan 18.
I don't get nice things often.
You know what's funny?
And I'm like, and I don't have to pay for it. I was waiting to go to check out the following day. I was like, I'm just waiting to see this fucking $600 charge on my tab, and I'm just like.
A funny story I have is like one of the first GTR I would say like sponsored trips that we had. Like I had flown out to Vancouver because Godfrey couldn't go.
Right.
And you know, I was 19 at the time, and I get to Canada. we go out for dinner after like they showed us EA Studios and like they were giving us I think it was for NBA Street or something like that. And after that we go out for dinner. We're eating food or whatever, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, you guys want to go to a bar? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? But I can't drink. I told them, I was like, look, I'm only 19. They're like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's 19 or 19 is the drinking age here.
Fucking Vancouver.
And I'm just like, wait a second, 19? I could drink? And they're like, yeah, you're good to to order whatever you want. And I was like, fuck it. So I look in my pockets. I only had like $10. I'm like, well, guess I'm ordering water. Now at that point, like the guy was like, hey, don't worry about anything. This is all comped. And I'm like, really? By who? And he's like, oh, I have the company card. So I look over and I see a bottle of Gold Label, and I'm just like, let me get a double. Yo, dude, I ended up ordering like 4 doubles, moved over to the next spot that we were hanging out at, got another 2. I was just walking around Vancouver, just smashed completely. Mind you, the snow's up to my knees. I'm drunk. I'm 19. I don't know anything. And I think I got back to my hotel room like at 3 a.m. with frostbite.
I'm surprised you got back to your hotel. I'm surprised you got back because back in those days, we didn't have smartphones with GPS.
No, I didn't have. Yo, Pete, understand that this is Gamertag Radio's like first year, maybe second year. And
like 2003, 2004?
Somewhere around. No, not 2004.
That's 2005.
2005, 2006.
Like the main start.
Yeah.
Because that's before I started.
living with Chris?
No, man, I was in high school in 2004. Like,
oh, you weren't down here yet?
No, I moved down at the end of 04.
But you used to come to.
Can you imagine going to your teacher? Can you imagine going to your teacher with a note from EA saying I need to go out of the country? And you're in high school.
I'm gonna be gone for a couple of days. No, man.
You just send my homework.
that made like the drinking laws over there made me fall in love with Canada. But the fact that they paid for all my drinking and food, man, like I'll forever be grateful to EA and everybody at that studio. But like I fully took advantage of the free drinking, and I didn't give a shit. The thing too, like I guess my drinking wasn't as
That was peak Nano gets fucked up and doesn't remember what happened.
It wasn't controlled at all. Like I was just chugging doubles of Gold Label.
We took Nano one time to like when the art district first opened up. There's this place called the District, and
I know the District.
Somebody snuck in a bottle of Overproof. And it was already like I was old enough to be like, you don't drink Overproof. That's like just a gimmick that you do like when you're a young boy. And fucking Nano took an entire like shot to the head, and then
I blacked out
immediately. Like it was like I walked away, I went to the bathroom, I maybe got something to eat. I came back and Nano was fucking retarded. We had to pick him up and drag him out of the place.
No, like the thing is like you would have assumed somebody hit me over the head with like a baton. Because I instantly like KO'd. Like I think I fell asleep on the couch for like 20 minutes.
I was using said Evergreen to like light my hand on fire because it was so like flammable and shit. I was just like, this is what you do.
Let me tell you the real story though, because it wasn't nobody took a shot. Like the only person that took that shot of that was me.
Yes, because everybody was
because you guys poured shots of regular alcohol and then you poured one shot of that and they handed it to me. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm drinking with you guys.
So you're saying and this is when Nano, you had to be like 19.
I was like 19, 20. Yeah.
You weren't old enough to be there and shit. Like you had snuck in.
It wasn't a good look.
But when I was saying before, when I was in Washington, I had went to the Westland Distillery, and they had flights, and it was like I don't know, like $20 for a flight of like 4 drinks, and I thought it was gonna be like a little itty bitty sip or whatever, but they poured each one of those shots like halfway through, so it was like a good triple shot for each thing. So like the deal was good. We got fucked. Like that whiskey was good, so good that when I got back, I looked for like where they sell it, and it's super expensive here. I think it's like $80 a bottle for like the American whiskey or whatever, and it's fucking good though.
Wow.
Yeah, I think you might have had it when I brought it back.
What
when
was
I went to Seattle. It's called Westland Distillery. It's a Seattle distillery. It's fucking pretty dope.
To check that out.
All right. Well, I mean, like we're pretty deep into this. You guys want to throw out your Christmas
best
Christmas? Yeah, your top 5 gifting ideas for drink wise.
Sure.
I always like those. I always like when it's holiday season or like right after Thanksgiving, you'll start seeing in the liquor store like 2 cups or like one cool silver cup or one like shaker or some shit.
I went to Total Wine and the guy straight up told me, like I asked him, I was like, hey, where are your gift sets? And he looked at me, he's like, our gift sets are shit this year.
Oh.
And I'm just like, well, sir, that's not the way to sell it. Like I'm telling you right now, you're not making me want to buy one of these.
fucking, this is the worst goddamn gift season.
Yeah, like he's like, oh, this
all
year
these companies are cutting back.
Yeah,
costs.
he's like, oh, the best one we have is a black label set with like, I think it comes with a flask or something. But like, I don't want to give somebody black label. That's just not like, I don't do it.
I haven't drank, like, the only time I'll drink like a Johnny Walker is when I'm at an event shooting, and that's all they have.
I think the only bottle worth gifting are the
upper
ones.
It's the colored ones.
The
Honestly,
Game of Thrones.
for me, I would say it would be the green label, the gold label, or if you really don't like money, and
the blue label.
Personally, I like the gold label better than the blue
I like
label.
gold better than blue.
label.
Like, but wasn't gold
gold is
it's reserved now. It's like a reserve
blended.
label now, right? Like they don't make
I don't
as
know.
many.
I haven't seen.
It's true. I haven't seen it in a long
wander
time.
into that side of it, but it's the single malt is the green one.
Yeah,
The blended 18 is the gold, and then the
I think
21
the single
is
malt's
the blue
the 15,
label.
right?
Yeah, which I like most 15. So like my favorite Glenlivet, even tasting the 25-year Glenlivet, is the 15-year Glenlivet, and it used to be on sale multiple times. Like we used to be able to get it for $40, but now it's like back at 70 or 80.
Honestly, like I prefer like this is probably one of my top. This is one of my top 5. Like I'd probably place it number 1, just like, you know, for price. But Glenfiddich, I think, is my favorite.
Fiddich?
Yeah, I'd choose that over Livet.
Okay, I get you.
Would you say that's your daily driver?
Yeah, for sure.
Truthfully, like I've gone down, I've been going down to these Irish since Proper 12. Like Proper 12 is like my go-to bottle, and this Buffalo Trace whiskey when it's in price, like this $26 is the best money you can spend. Otherwise, like I look at this stuff and I'm like, oh, do I want to spend $125 on like a Weird Alexander fucking single cast from 1990 or some shit?
It's not worth it, man.
It's not worth it when you think it's like.
So do you put them on the same par as like an American versus a Japanese or an international?
I
just like a
have
Scotch?
never been able to become fond of any Japanese whiskeys, and it might be my fault.
I find them pretty harsh, man. To be honest,
It
with you.
might
Like,
be my fault. 'Cause
Really?
Maybe I had something like I had a couple of bad experiences, and I've been like I've never been impressed with Japanese whiskeys.
So
I've
you've
had
never
multiple
had
people.
the Yamazaki?
Yeah,
Or
the
the
Yamazaki is
Hibiki?
okay, but I feel like that one's a little too smoky. Like in my opinion, it's very similar to man, what can I compare it to? I don't know why at the time I'm thinking of Double Black. Like I don't know what it, because I hate that drink. The Johnny Walker Double Black.
I'm not a Johnny Walker. Black or Double Black, they turn me off hard.
What about the one with the girl on it?
The gimmicky bottle. No, I honestly I think Johnny Walker, Black and Double Black itself, they just it's too much of a burnt wood chip taste. You know what I mean? Like it's very smoky.
I get what you're saying. And
It's like drinking
I
charcoal.
felt
Yeah,
the same way
exactly.
when the Game of Thrones bottle came out. I was like, ooh, I want to try this, and I was like, ugh, sorely disappointed by the Night King fucking Johnny Walker. That shit was not good.
Those bottles are cool. I saw one with like a dragon
they're
on
cool.
it.
There are cool bottles, and I would say like if you're into like nostalgia type drinks, like they had a Johnny Walker that was the Blade Runner box, which I was like, oh, this is dope. Like the bottle looked like square but with weird angles and shit. The bottle looked cool, did not taste good. But what does taste good is the other Game of Thrones ones from like they did like a whole series of like House Lannister whiskey, and a bunch of different distilleries from Scotland did their own version of we had two that were here. They're not here anymore. I threw all the bottles away.
Those bottles are gone.
But like they have their own version. So like recently I had bought the Kraken one, like the fucking House Greyjoy.
Yeah.
So like, and it's all from different places in Scotland. So it's not one brand doing it. It's a bunch of different distilleries getting it on Game of Thrones.
Well, like honestly, like if you're gonna go the cheap route, like I mean, well, I don't want to say cheap. It's cost effective, right? Like I mean, between what's a good price for a bottle, right? Like between $25 to like $40. Is that like a
for whiskey? I would say for American, I'd say $25 to $40.
So what's your favorite bottle in that price range?
In that price range, Glenmorangie 10.
Ooh, Glenmorangie. I like that.
You know what? That's a nice choice.
That's my daily driver because Macallan 12 at $50 a pop is just it's still a little too high for me. Like as much as that's why and I can't even say as much as I now drink because I really don't drink. This is probably the most I've drank in the last 4 or 5 months. But
Sounds like
right
we're
now?
very happy over there in Switzerland. What's going on?
oh no, well shit, I'm drinking scotch. Fucking windows are open and it's 40 degrees.
It is fucking
Honestly,
cold
though, like
over there.
a Glenlivet to Glenfiddich, they're kind of on the same price. Like they're on the same bracket as price, right? Like a 12-year will run you between what $30 to $35.
The Glenmorangie is more like Macallan prices, though, right? So like a 12-year is like $50 or some shit.
So is that something that like you would gift to
your boss?
No, not your boss. You can't give your boss a fucking $30 bottle.
No. Yeah.
But
No,
like
yeah,
a coworker,
for your
like,
boss, you have to go
or
like
someone
50.
you want to give a gift to, but like you don't really have any emotional
Attachment.
Yeah,
to.
you know what I mean? Like somebody that you like, you're just kind of like, oh god damn it, I got to get him a gift.
You know what? When you get invited to a Christmas party that you didn't want to go to, your wife is making you go. You're like, I'll bring a $30 bottle. And
So is that
enough.
like the price? Like where would you go? Like what's a bottle you would recommend to?
Hold on.
If I get you a $20 bottle, I don't respect you. I don't even like you that much. I just gave it to you.
I'm physically showing you I hate you.
Yes, I'm showing you this disdain for which I hold. No, if I'm going to like,
If I come to your house
on the Total
with
Wine
Crown
site
Royale,
right now,
I disrespect you.
Yeah. I'm trying to find it on Total Wine's website right now because there's a specific bottle that I get every time, and it's not like it doesn't show your cheapness, but it's still good enough to be like, all right.
I'm gonna tell you,
it's different.
There's a
$27.
There's a Glenfiddich that I was gonna put on my list, and it's rounding in at 5, just because it's new to me and I didn't see it. It's Project 20, Project XX.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a special series that they're releasing. That whiskey is, I think the bottle's like $79. I bought 2 of them because I bought one for my girl's brother, Carolina's brother.
Glenfiddich.
So my brother-in-law, I'm gonna give him one. It's a Glenfiddich Project 20.
I saw the Glenfiddich 19 with the cool box. Like it's like blue.
This one's all black. It's like it's an all black casing with bronze.
I think that
letters.
was another episode that me and Bam might have did the Glenlivet fucking code one where there's like fucking AR graphics in it and shit.
I don't give a shit about
it wasn't that good. It wasn't worth the $90.
No, but this Project 20, I bought 2 bottles, like I said. So I brought one for my brother-in-law. That's gonna be his Christmas gift. I hope he's not listening.
We'll put this after Christmas.
Yeah, no, well, no, it has to be before, right? Like this are gift ideas.
That's true.
But I bought a bottle for myself because I was intrigued and I wanted to taste it. Let me tell you right now, that whiskey is delicious. It is really good. I recommend it. If you're trying to stay with below $100, but you want to give somebody something nice, and you have to go above 50, like if you don't mind spending $80, I think it's worth it. Like Project 20 by Glenfiddich is highly recommended. It had such a good finish. This drink was smooth. It's a little darker than I thought it was gonna be, but it's I think it's great.
Project 20. I gotta check
It's a
that
special
out.
series.
I found it. It's called Ainsley Bray Sherry Cask Finish. It's $25 at Total Wine.
That is a good price. Ainsley
Bray, BRAE, and you have to get the Sherry Cask Finish, and it's $25 every time. I don't have a problem. If there wasn't a Glenmorangie 10, I would use that as my daily driver.
That's
I'm gonna write that one down. I'm actually gonna.
Well, we have to record it.
Well, I'm saying we have a Total Wine like literally down the block, so I'm gonna pass by and get one.
I held off on becoming like a member every time they'd ask me, and then when I finally did it and they gave me the points, I was like, I'd have so many fucking points right now.
I should have
like
done this.
all the time, like the amount of fucking alcohol that I buy. Like I bought like for shows, I bought like $100 bottles. I bought like a $125 bottle recently. Not recently, a couple like a year or two ago or whatever. I was like, damn, these would be like crazy amount of points I would have. I would have like thousands of points. I don't know what points get me at the Total Wine.
Do you guys make a drink for the holidays or
like a mixed drink?
Yeah, I make coquito all the time, and that's like one of my top gifting gifts because like first of all I use
everybody wants a bottle that's like a fucking bottle of like Bacardi coconut that you filled with like milk.
No, you know what? Look, let me tell you the trick. Go to your local supermarket. Welch's sells sparkling wines.
Okay.
Or ciders, sparkling ciders.
It's a dark glass.
Well, they have them in green and white.
Okay.
And clear,
Yeah.
So those bottles are only about $4. Yeah. Buy as many as you want. Is
it a Caribbean thing? Because like Puerto Ricans do it too. Is it just a Caribbean thing?
Coquito's Puerto Rican.
Yeah. But I mean, the islands do. Everybody from the islands will do it. Like I think Haitians make that shit too.
What?
Yeah. I don't know what a Haitian coquito
Everybody
is.
has. They all have their own
Like a
version. Of it.
yeah. Like
Well,
a
it's
fucking
eggnog, right? It's
Yeah.
eggnog. It's just a modified eggnog. But I think coquito is the best one.
Coquito's when your grandma wants to get you a little fucked up.
So if anybody listening doesn't know what coquito is, it's a Puerto Rican
Eggnog.
Puerto
Rican eggnog.
essentially, right?
But they make it like they make it from like scratch type shit. You know, it's like
They make it
milk,
from scratch, yeah.
eggs.
You know what?
fucking-
Like along with this podcast, when it gets released, I'm gonna put up my recipe
Oh,
for
your
coquito,
recipe.
and it's I'll put up 2 different versions because I have a Hennessy version and I have another one that uses Puerto Rican rum.
This guy over here, my cousin just walked in the studio. He's a Hennessy guy. I think it's a certain age. Like once you move past 25 years old, you will never drink Hennessy.
Well, Hennessy
again.
when I do the Hennessy coquito, it's more of a gimmick, Like I'm going for the people that like go for the name, you know what I mean? Like because like honestly,
Right.
I'm not a Hennessy guy because it turns me into a terrible person.
Make a bunch of bad decisions.
No, you just make bad choices overall.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Like, I get really black out when I drink Hennessy.
I've had too many experiences. As soon as Hennessy was introduced, someone gets arrested, someone gets thrown out of a strip club, someone gets an
That would be
STD. Something happens where no one expected it to happen, but as soon as Hennessy was brought
And
into
so
the equation,
And that's why Nano pours it with the Hennessy because
Well,
it opens
you know what?
it up to people.
I give the people what they want.
People would normally drink it, but when you tell them no, it's got Hennessy in it, and then the eyeballs light up and they're like, oh really? Oh,
it's like
I'll
it's
take
like
that.
you
Well, you
want
know
your
what, like-
Christmas party to get turned up to 11.
I bought because I went on a cruise this year, so I ended up buying a couple of bottles. I bought a case of pure Hennessy, the white
What do you
Henny.
mean a case? What are you
Well,
talking
6. It was a box
You
of
bought
6.
6 bottles of Hennessy?
Hennessy pure white.
What does that mean?
It's they only sell it. Yeah, it's better. It's a better Henny. Honestly, it's not my type of drink. It's not my thing. Right? It's not my bag
We're
right
not
now.
cognac people.
No. It's not. That's not my thing. But I know people like it, and I was planning on using it for the coquito.
Yeah.
So that's what my coquito is gonna be this year. It's the white Hennessy,
Yeah.
and it's in my opinion better than the regular one. But at the end of the day, I'd rather use rum.
Okay.
I think it
I think
just
that's
comes out
the
better.
original.
That
That's
makes
the OG.
that makes it more tasty, I guess. More sugar on top of sugar. And
But
shit.
for people that haven't really tried the drink or know what coquito is, Puerto Rican eggnog. I'm gonna put the recipe out.
Okay.
The one that I
That's a
use
good-
at
that's a
least.
good idea. Yeah.
And I learned
You
it
could do
from
like one of those cooking videos where it's like above the camera's like above the glass and you're just pouring in shit and at the end
I hate those videos, man. I despise those things so much. It's like those taste made videos, right? Like
they were so popular for a long
Tasty.
time. Like
Tasty.
my cousins
Yeah,
always be
yeah.
like,
Tasty.
I'm gonna make fucking brisket and like show like a video of brisket, like how it gets made. I'm like, wow. And you have to watch the whole thing because you want to know.
no,
where
you
it
don't,
stops.
because you know what brisket is. You literally you mix. It's salt and pepper, 1-to-1 ratio of salt and pepper, and you rub it on the fucking meat, and
I
that's
just
it.
put that as an example. I'm talking about like shit where you do 3 or 4 steps or whatever. But speaking of like drinks the only drink that I've had mixed recently is the gin and tonic, and only because my brother-in-law, soon to be brother-in-law or whatever, he works at this place called I had mentioned it a bunch, the Gin Joint in Tampa, and he's like the manager of the bar and shit. And he introduced me to this gin called Botanist. It's fucking
Yes.
good. It is really, really good.
I'm not a gin guy, man.
And
I can't.
I'm not a gin can. Yeah.
I'm not, and I like
Actually,
I like this
it's
gin.
on my list.
What?
It's
You
on my
put gin
list
on your
here.
list, and you're not a gin guy? What are you talking about?
No. Hold on. If you can look at the list, because I'm gonna like screen cap it and send
Okay.
it to you right now.
Uh-huh.
Hold on. It's even better if you see it.
But anyway, for my mixed drink, I go cucumber, tonic, and gin, and it's like a good
refreshing.
drink when you're out and about, like when you're not trying to drink, when you're not trying to get fucked
When
up.
you want to get drunk, but like still be sociable.
yeah, exactly. Like when you're talking to people and you have to be somewhere. Like you're not trying to just be like, I'm just gonna drink straight scotch the entire night. You drink a little bit of gin and tonic. This Botanist gin is my favorite gin from all the gins.
Well, Pete sounds like he's had it, so like I'm gonna go for him because like you're.
He had a bunch of gins and he gave me a bunch, and the Botanist, I was like, he left the bottle at the table type shit. I was like, all right, this is good. I bought it for my dad for his birthday.
Have you tried the botanist, Pete?
I have tried the Botanist, and I'll put this out there. I hate the picture that I just sent to to Charles and Nano. It literally says "fuck gin." It has a list of like, best whiskeys, American, international, best rum, best tequila,
And
best
I
vodka.
would agree with you,
Because I
but
had to get prepped and prep for the show. And for gin, I just wrote "fuck gin" because I can't drink it.
I don't fuck with gin, mostly because my dad grew up drinking gin, but like Bacardi gin. Like it was like a shit gin, like with lime in it. And it would be the only liquor in the house and the only liquor I could sneak out. So I built up this is gross. So I have to drink it to get drunk as a child and shit.
That's like a kid when they drink beer and they're introduced with Coors Light, but then they try like Heineken.
Hey,
and it's like,
don't you
or
dare.
like St. Pauli. They're like St. Pauli.
I don't want to hear anything about Coors Light, all right? I still
is
to
the
this day.
biggest fucking stand for goddamn Coors Light.
You know what? Hey, Pete, I told you I admired the mountains that you have outside of your house, right?
Yes.
I love mountains on my can as well. You know what? Like that's my biggest thing. Like I love good whiskey. I love a good craft beer, but man, I put
gin.
I put Coors Light over all that shit.
I've been drinking a lot of Carlsberg because they have a good sale, like on these 12 packs of Tall Boys over here in the Total Wine for $14. You get a 12 pack of fucking Tall Boys. Do you get like Carlsberg from the tap over there? Carlsberg is Dutch, right?
So all right. So out here, alcohol is a lot more expensive than it is in every other country.
Okay.
Really?
Like beer?
Like what? Like tax wise or just like
tax wise, just spirits in general. Like like if I go to the store and try to buy like a whiskey or scotch or vodka, it's going to be more expensive than you pay in the States. Like figure about $5 to $10 more just because it's imported.
Okay.
Or
because of the EU, you're saying like EU, you come from
Switzerland
Germany?
Switzerland is not part of the EU.
Oh, so that's why you're getting fucked.
Switzerland has an agreement with the EU.
Oh, okay.
But Switzerland is a neutral country. And I'm saying we as if I'm like a citizen.
I know, like you've assimilated.
He's been there for like 2 months.
I don't know how Swiss people talk. Do they call them Swiss? Is Swiss
you just
different?
made like a Dutch.
They're considered the Swiss.
Yeah,
they speak German.
Like
No,
a Swedish chef
that's
and
terrible.
shit.
That's
That's Swedish. My bad. You're right.
That's
So
awful.
depending on the part of Switzerland you live, there's 3 regions. Depending on how close you live to Germany, it's more of a German speaking. If you live closer to the
Wait,
to
what do
the
you mean?
Italy
They
side,
speak German in Switzerland?
so there's 3. All right, so there's 4 common languages in Switzerland. There is. Well, I'll start with German.
Everybody speaks English though, right? Am I wrong?
I'll start with German, French, English, and then there's a language called, and I don't remember the actual name, but it's a form of, it's called Swiss German or High German, where it's
Sounds super racist though.
it's
German?
kind of like it's considered it's like a fancier like.
Is it like what you know?
I don't want to say it's like Creole to French because the connotations or whatever.
Is it like the like in Spanish that you have like regular
Portuguese and Spanish?
No, not
so
Portuguese, but like you know what they speak
German
In Spain.
No, not in Spain. In Argentina, they have what's that shit called?
I know what you're talking
Cata
about.
something.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Catalan.
Catalan. Yeah, like that's a little more fancy.
So it's kind of like that. So like if I speak German to someone who speaks Swiss, they'll understand me. But if I speak Swiss German to someone who speaks German,
Are you
they
saying
won't
that you
understand
speak
what I'm
all these
saying.
languages? Are you coming out as
No,
like a four-person linguist?
No,
and
I've
shit?
got like 12 words in my repertoire right now.
Of what?
That's about
Like
it.
what?
12
German?
words?
Maybe not even that. There's maybe like 6. Like half of those are like
What
food
time
names,
is it?
and then
Yeah.
I grunt and I point.
Can I get a hot dog?
Yeah. No, not even. They do have good hot dogs.
I can imagine that's where they made them, right? The Frankfurters.
Yeah.
Frankfurter. I'd be a bad. I'm like a person who starts. I was at a pizzeria that these Chinese people owned, and everybody was speaking Chinese in the back, and I just started mimicking their Chinese, and I'm
That's
like,
terrible.
this is too. Like, I can't believe I just did that.
Did you still order food?
I did. Which I
And
was
did
like,
you eat
it
it?
was. I don't know if they spit on it or not, but they
Oh,
for
no,
They
sure
should
had.
have.
definitely spit on
They
it.
should
And
have
if there
spit
was
on it.
black marks on it, that was not seasoned.
It's something that I do. I make fun of like accents that I hear. Not even make fun of, but I just start repeating what you say. I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
So so living here as a stranger in a strange land, you are the outsider, right?
Yeah.
So you go
Do you feel
in,
like that when you walk down the street though? Like,
But
do you,
you're a little bit already in the middle, right? You're Hispanic and shit. They can't tell where you're from.
well, no, like Pete, you have Asian.
Well,
like,
I'm half Cuban, half Korean.
All right.
So I'm
Yeah.
walking around and people see me and they're like, "Oh,
Wow.
because the Chinese embassy is down the street."
Oh shit!
right?
They think you're Chinese.
But they don't know that. Yeah, that there's a Chinese. Well, remember, most countries have multiple embassies, so you know.
So wait, like you're
You're like diplomatic immunity whenever you do something
Not
wrong
even,
and shit.
dude. I'm an American. I am a full on.
Do you feel
I'm a full on expatriate.
Do you feel a little alienated,
expatriate.
like out there, like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, especially when I have to talk to somebody and they start immediately with the German or French or Swiss German, and I'm like, I'll catch a word and I'm like, I'll give them like squinty your eyes, and I already have, and they look at me and they're like, oh, and I'm just like, sorry, do you speak English? And then
Rocking the English.
But everybody nobody like forces you to
no, so
like
here in
like the
Switzerland-
language barrier is not that like everybody conforms
so-
to English, right? Like
it's not like here in Miami where like if you don't speak Spanish, they like snort at you like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, here's the thing, and I've come to realize this over. If you're speaking to somebody from the younger generation where English was forced as a second language in school, then you'll have a much better time of getting your question across. You'll be able to communicate easier. If you're speaking to someone from the older generation, someone 50 or 60 years old who maybe work in the register at a bakery or something like that, and you speak to them in English, you're going to be in trouble because
So what do you do?
that generation wasn't encouraged or wasn't forced to speak English as part of their curriculum in school. So, you kind of liken them to like my mom or dad.
But is it like
who was
people
brought
our
here.
age then? Like people like in
So
their mid 30s?
remember, I'm 46. I don't know.
Oh, you're older. Oh shit. So
Yeah,
is it
so
like
I'm
people
an
that
old
your
fart.
age? Yeah, people
No,
your age are like,
somebody
fuck
like
this
my
guy.
age and old would look at me like, if they're from Switzerland, they'd be like, oh, okay, he's not from here.
They're
So,
like, all we listen to
he's
is
either a
industrial
tourist
music and
or
fuck-
he's an expat.
Okay, so like do they instantly do they assume that just off of seeing like
Off of appearances?
Yeah.
No.
Like
No,
it's
because-
off of first words, right? Like they'd have to actually like engage in
it's
conversation.
immediately off of your first conversation with that person. Like that's when you realize, okay, this person's either been here long enough that they know the language, or they're an expat, or they're here as a tourist.
Have you learned like the intro like sentence to be like, I
No,
appreciate
like-
I like being in this Switzerland, but
like no, not
I
even that
don't
much.
speak
Like I
it
can
very
say
well.
I can say hello. I can say thank you. I can say excuse me.
Okay.
I can ask for the things that I most common, like
Mm-hmm.
Schinkengelful, which is like a croissant with.
But which language is that one?
Inside.
Which
That's German. That's
okay.
that's German.
So straight up.
That's crazy,
Which
man.
is
So
like a croissant with a croqueta inside of it, without the deep fried part.
Really?
Like, so if you
So
were
it's like
if you were to
ham
extract
inside
the
of a croissant.
yeah, so if you were to extract the insides of a croissant of a croqueta and put them inside of a croissant, you'd have a Schinkengelful. Which is
Schinkenproof.
so it's flour and ham, right? Like I don't know what else.
Basically.
I hate
I
fucking
guess.
croissants. They're the worst
But-
pastry.
Fucking love them.
Oh my
love
god,
croissants.
you get a good croissant. You get a good
Look, let
croissant.
me tell you
I
something.
fucking
And-
hate.
I-
They're
I-
so messy. You
I
get
love
like shit all over.
I
your-
love eating croissants. I hate making them.
Oh, okay.
Making them is a bitch. It's
Yes,
just
'cause
there's
they're
a
so
lot of
flaky.
folds. It's time consuming, but they're delicious.
Fuck croissants.
So wait a second, like, are you like how can I say this? Like, are you focusing on learning one language, or do you have to like
I'm
kind of like?
focusing on learning German. I'm focusing on learning German because most of Switzerland or some form of German.
Hey,
So-
hey, you know what? I have the Rosetta Stone set
German?
for German. Yeah,
Why?
for Germany. I
If you want to send it, I will not
What
tell
are you
you.
talking about? You collected Rosetta Stones?
I have German, Japanese, Portuguese.
First of all, there's YouTube. Like you just go on YouTube, put learn
Hey,
German.
hey, there's and actually I've been
Pete,
using.
I'm gonna send you the Rosetta
most
Stone.
recently
I'm
my
gonna send it to you.
wife-
Like as soon as I get
Yeah,
home,
please.
I'm gonna send you the
Send it to
German.
me.
Yeah, I got you.
Appreciate it.
I
Thank
grew
you.
up in a
There's
neighborhood
there's
with these
actually a
Colombian kids
playlist.
that their dad made them learn German, and I was like, "Why is your dad making you learn German?" He's like, "Oh, that's what business people do." I'm like, and these people did not grow up to be business people. And I was like, "Why the fuck?
You know, they grew up to be,
Why the fuck did they
neo-Nazis
make you like learn German? Like, there's no one that speaks German in Florida. They wanted them to be
That's
bankers and shit, and I was like, they're never gonna be those things.
Well, and if that's the case, it's probably because they've got something European.
Oh, like a background,
like a European business or finance background.
That makes sense.
Because they would be dealing with a lot of people from Switzerland, which is one of the reasons why the company I work for is here, because of the tax breaks.
Yeah, of course.
But you're doing IT in Switzerland?
Yes, I work for a luxury hotel.
But can't you do IT from anywhere? Like, you don't have to be there.
Yes. No, I don't have to physically be here, but the headquarters is here, and I'm in charge of the department. I'm in charge of global IT for the entire company.
What's your new gig? Because I don't think I ever got in depth. I mean, if you want to get in there, like what's
no,
your...
I don't mind. It's like I updated my LinkedIn already.
I'm on the internet.
From HR to talk about it. So yeah, I'm the global head of IT and infrastructure.
Fucking global head? You're the global head? That's a great that's a great business card to give out.
Yeah.
This company.
It's a lot better than like director of IT, which was what I was
anybody
before.
Can be a director, but you're not the global head.
But I'm global head.
Like, you're a director? Sorry.
Yeah.
The big wig around.
That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, I work at the headquarters, which is in Switzerland, obviously.
So how's it been? Like, how's the transition? The new, everything's new for you, right?
Have you been skiing?
No, but that's coming this week. My wife and family are coming.
Swiss Alps.
They fly out tomorrow afternoon from Miami, tomorrow being Sunday, and they arrive Monday morning. Oh. And then we'll be hitting Mount Pilatus, which is right across. It's a 30-minute gondola or...
Gondola?
40... Yeah.
In the fucking, what do you say? Negative, it's 4 degrees right now, which is like negative 40 and shit.
4 degrees now, but
zero is freezing water, right?
It's been snowing. It's been snowing at the top of the mountain for the past month and a half.
Christ.
But it's a 40-minute gondola, which is basically a cable. It's kind of like those things that you take at Disney World or something like that, right? Like you jump in a gondola, you go
the
up.
mountain and I've seen too many accidents to those things. I don't want to get on one of those.
There's another way to get up there, which is the steepest cog railway in the world, which goes up at a 40...
Are you going to take that or not?
That sounds dope.
That's part of the thing. We're going to do the silver ticket, which goes up one and down the other.
Okay.
But it goes up at a 48-degree angle.
That's fucking terrifying.
But still, hanging off of a wire, doesn't that seem precarious? Like...
Oh no, but I mean, so either way is precarious. But I mean, you only live once, and
I would say,
and I'm gonna use it right now.
I would say, don't go do that thing.
I'm gonna use it one shot.
Don't go over
there. And they just finished maintenance from November to December, so like everything's fresh and clean.
Yeah, they do maintenance
They just fixed it.
I don't feel good at all about this.
No, they do maintenance once a year. So they take care of it.
I'm so happy.
And it's
like
the tourist thing.
There's like people on the internet that go and travel for me, so I never have to do it. Like there's this girl I follow. She's my homegirl from high school, and she travels the fucking world. She's a lesbian now, so like
it's okay. I'm a lesbian too.
She has no children. She doesn't have any like income. Like she has nothing to spend money on.
She has no income.
I'm saying like she doesn't have any like income drains. She has no expenses. So she gets to travel the world, and she's a school teacher. So like, she deals with kids all day. She's like, "Fuck these kids."
No, she definitely has no income if she's a school teacher.
Yeah, that's.
But she goes everywhere.
Universal.
I'm like, you should be like a travel blogger. She's like, no, it's just for my friends. I'm like, you could be making money going wherever the fuck you're going
and traveling for free.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And she's so good at it. Or I'm like, I don't ever have to go to like the fucking desert where the dunes are, where you have to like go.
Don't introduce me because she's gonna want to like get one of those free trips.
Okay. All right, this is a good episode. I think we did a good job here.
Well, I don't think you guys named any bottles except for.
I mean, we did a bunch.
What did you say? Anything?
Yeah, I told you the Westland.
Look, let me be honest
Trace.
with you. I'm gonna give you my quick list.
Okay.
Glenfiddich is my number one. I think that's an overall moderately priced.
But a certain bottle.
Well, the 12-year. You know, like if you're gonna
green bottle.
If you're gonna give something to a rant, like somebody you don't want to like.
My retort to that would be Glenlivet.
Either or, they're on par with each other, and that's like a gift that's super last minute. You know, you're rushing to a party. You don't have a gift for the person throwing the party, whatever. Like I think liquor stores are the only things open on Christmas Day, so that would be like your ultimate last minute gift. I think a Glenlivet, Glenfiddich within the $30 to $40 price range would be the ultimate choice. Personally, if you have the time for it, make some coquito.
Okay.
It'll cost you about $60, $70, and you can make a good amount of bottles. You know what I mean? Like I think in one batch I get like 7 to 8 bottles per batch, and that's with one bottle of whatever alcohol you choose.
And my version of that was the Botanist with the cucumber.
Nobody wants to drink gin. Nobody wants to drink gin.
I'm telling you, man, that Botanist.
You give me gin, I'm not talking to you for the next year.
That Botanist, if I make you a good fucking cucumber gin and tonic,
you lost me a cucumber.
I'm telling you, the cucumber you would think doesn't
You
taste
lost me
good,
a cucumber
but once
and
you get
gin.
the cucumber, you're like,
And tonic.
it blows your mind when you have the cucumber inside the tonic with the Botanist. I'm telling you.
I don't know about that. Like honestly, the only time I've ever had a gin and tonic was like when I go out to happy hour and like ladies drink free, and that's all they would ever get.
Right, so they give it to you?
Yeah, they'd give it to me, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess. And I'm like, oh, this drink kind of sucks. Like, I'm sorry, but gin and tonic is fucking terrible.
I'm telling you, Miguel, I need to introduce you to my brother-in-law to be, because like he's a mixologist type person, and I hate mixed drinks. I only like
brother-in-law
straight.
to be?
Yeah, like Danielle's sister's boyfriend that's gonna.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, yo, dude, like, are one of your brothers gay? Like, what are you talking about? 'Cause- like, what do you? Oh, so Danielle's family.
Danielle's
Okay. I get it.
sister's husband,
Okay.
or boyfriend now at the moment.
All right.
He works at this place called the Gin Joint. That's the only reason I know about it.
So that's how you found out about the
Yeah.
Botanist.
He does a bunch of other shit. Like whenever he's coming over for Christmas.
What's your preferred clear like liquor?
Is it vodka?
I would say vodka, right? Like, I can't go with.
I like zero vodka.
Vodka for sure.
Oh, what about you in Switzerland? Do they have any different vodkas because you're so close to Russia?
Not here. I haven't really. Again, like the only thing I've drank has been maybe this half a bottle, and it's a half a bottle, literally. So like maybe
I'd
a
be
quarter of
drinking
this bottle
so
of,
much
of
beer if
whiskey.
I were where you were at. I'd be like, give me
No.
all the beer that's from Europe now.
No, so clear liquids, because most of my list, as you mentioned, that is some shade of brown.
Yeah.
So I would say vodkas. I'd say Beluga Noble Gold
Okay.
is my.
We had that one.
Yeah, we did. That was really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
And then second, I'd put Vive Acai Vodka.
Vive Acai.
Wait. How do you spell that?
VEEV. It's an
VEEV.
acai vodka. It's made. It's
Acai,
made out
like
of acai.
ACAI?
Yeah, like the Brazilian fruit.
Is it from Brazil?
I think it's made from Brazil, and it's like all natural, organic. It's all those those
the
those
hippie
Whole
vodka.
Foods type
I like
foods,
it. I
those
like that.
Millennium type vodkas.
All right.
This is
That
hip
would be
for me.
mine. If
Zero would be my favorite vodka. Like that, I think zero you can drink like in a cup, like just water. It's fucking that good.
You know what? I like my vodka straight up chilled.
Yeah.
I
Same.
don't think I
Same.
can.
Yeah.
I can't do it any
I'll
other
do
way.
it with ice or maybe lime and lemon.
Yeah,
I've
I'm down with that.
I've learned
that.
after a long time of drinking that things with sugar in it fucking make your head hurt. So like last night I was doing a Christmas party and I was like, oh, let me get the Knob Creek because I had Knob Creek, but I didn't see like the entire label. And I took a sip and it was like a flavored like vanilla fucking Knob Creek. It made my head hurt taking one sip.
Yeah, I mean the sugar is higher on those.
No, the fact that when you make like a syrup out of your whiskey, like what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like the honey Jack Daniels.
Oh man, that thing is terrible.
Horrible. Like you put sugar in a goddamn in a whiskey, you're fucking yourself up. Like you're making your headache 10 times
if we're
harder.
talking about sweet drinks, what's your favorite rum? Like what would you say, Pete?
Rum. Just so we can go back to it, it's the Vive vodka is actually made in Idaho.
Idaho.
It's made from winter and
Did you
organic
say,
acai.
did you say Idaho?
Yeah, yep. And the guy just sold it last year for 7 times its value.
Wow.
He sold it. I'm trying to find the name of the
Some
company he sold it
cracker
to.
in
but
Idaho was like,
he-
I love
he-
these
he built up-
acai berries.
Acai. Yeah, he built it up to more than $10 million.
$10
sold the pro-
million?
he sold it. Yeah.
Oof.
Shit.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like my favorite rum right now is probably Zacapa. It's a Nicaraguan.
Okay.
I mean, I always like Flor de Caña. That was my favorite back in the day, like a 15-year-old Flor de Caña or 14-year-old. I think
Yeah.
it was 14. But
For me, it would be Selecto. So my dad, it's a Venezuelan aged blend.
Uh-huh.
My dad used to buy these bottles like once, like every 2 weeks, and it was like his favorite rum. If it's not that, it would.
rums are
would
easy to
be-
give out for gifts because they're so cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
think
would
that's,
be-
that's if you're with a budget. I think rums
Yeah.
like you're not
Easy.
spending
Yeah,
any more
it's
than
the
like
easy
20
money.
to to $30, like on a decent
even
rum.
like
Exactly.
a really good bottle might be like $40 max.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying.
shit.
Like
Right.
Zacapa, Zacapa. That is my rum of choice right now, and you're not gonna spend more than like $25 to $34 like on a bottle. I other than that, like I don't think I choose
Brugal
another rum.
1888. Brugal 1888.
Oh man, Brugal, I can't fuck with Brugal. I'm Dominican, so like I've had
I know.
Brugal my entire life.
Child. Fucking the worst
Look,
rum
let me tell you
ever.
a quick story of when I was
He was
15.
born.
My
He
aunts
was
go to Dominican
born.
Republic, like, we got you some Brugal. I'm like, keep it. Don't bring it over. I don't want it.
No thanks.
Thank you very
Nana
much.
was born. Instead of giving him leche, they gave him a bottle of Brugal.
Look, let me
with a
tell you.
nipple on
Let
it.
me tell you a quick story of when I was 16 years old and I ruined Christmas. So it was Christmas Eve. Party at my house in the Bronx. You know, we're having a good time. All my family's over.
What part of
Everybody's
the
hanging
Bronx?
out.
What part of the Bronx?
In Soundview. By Castle Hill, like all right, so like if nobody really knows where that is, Big Pun, Fat Joe, they all grew up in my neighborhood, more or less, you know.
Yep.
So we're hanging out, drinking, everybody's having a good time. I decide to steal a couple of bottles and take it up to the rooftop so me and my homeboys can drink. You know, they're not really trying to let 15, 16-year-old kids drink, so we sneak a couple bottles up to the roof. I take a Brugal, a bottle of Alizé. My other homeboy...
Oh, Alizé.
Yeah, no, it was terrible. My other friend takes a bottle of Courvoisier. So we take these 3 bottles up top to the rooftop. I get, like, blackout drunk. And this is,
Notice
like...
how all of his stories, he's blackout
I'm
drunk.
saying, he was a very early... I didn't black out until, I want to say 2005, 2006.
No. I've been blacking out since I was, like, 15.
Yeah. I was deep into, like, I stopped drinking for a long time. I got back into drinking. And the only time I blacked out, like the first time I ever blacked out, I was playing a chess game where, like, every chess piece was a shot of a certain size.
Yeah, I remember that game.
Yeah.
That was terrible. That was an awful thing to have in your house.
So I won the game. I know I won the game, but I didn't win the game because that was the first time I blacked out.
Look, so we're drinking, right, on the roof. We end up finishing the bottle of Brugal. We finish the Alizé, and we finish the Courvoisier. So we're coming back downstairs, and you know, like, you've been to New York. You've seen the stairwells. They're just concrete. You know, in the projects, everything's just a concrete stairs. You know, like, so I'm walking down the steps. I lose my footing on my left foot, and I slip, and I just bust my ass down the stairwell, and I land forehead first into the wall. Gash my entire fucking forehead. I'm leaking blood, and then I'm walking back into the
understand
party.
why Nano's parents were like, we need to get you out of New York City.
No. Yeah, it was well warranted. They were. It was a justified case. So,
Even though it was like self-sabotage. It wasn't like the city was bad for you. It's just like steps and like taking the train. There's many accidents that you can get into.
there was a
while
lot
being
of
drunk.
variables on why New York wasn't good for me. But I fall down the steps, right? Fall face first into the wall. Pure concrete. So it gashed my forehead up. Nasty. So I'm walking back into the party.
All bloody and shit.
All full of blood. Like my face is covered in blood.
Your parents, oh my
And
God!
I'm walking in like nothing happened. I'm walking like, hey, where's the party at? Hey, what's up? And I'm drunk as hell. I'm 15 years old. And everybody like instantly just like starts screaming like, oh my God, what the fuck happened? I was so drunk that I started fighting everyone trying to calm me down.
Yeah, they're the worst.
So yeah, no, I was pretty bad. I'm still pretty bad now, but like I don't get to that point. So long story short, ambulance was called. I got taken away to the hospital at 15 with alcohol poisoning. Had to get a stomach pump on Christmas Eve. Woke up Christmas morning with a tube down my throat, and you know I'm getting a stomach pump at this point.
I've known too many people that got stomach pumps that be like, did you not know how to throw up? Like you
No.
just throw up and then it goes away.
Well, the thing is, they forced it on me because I was so young.
Yeah, I
so
get
they were
it.
just trying to
They
get the
were-
alcohol
yeah,
out.
yeah.
And I woke up with a tube in my throat, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I'll just see the machine like pumping everything out, and they're holding me down with a neck brace on.
And your dad's calling you a pussy.
No. The whole time, like, I didn't see my parents. because I was in like, I'm assuming I was in like ICU or some shit. But after everything, I you know they had normalized me. Everything was good. I was still really drunk because obviously.
Yeah.
You know, you had a bunch of alcohol in your system. I was so fucking drunk. So like when I got up and they're like, all right, you can go home now. I'm trying to walk and my mom looks at me like she hates me. You know what I mean? My mom gives me that disappointed look.
It's you embarrassed me.
No, I embarrassed the shit out of her.
So like it's like, yeah, we're all alcoholics, but you embarrassed us.
Yeah, so I'm walking out of the hospital. I'm stumbling everywhere, and my mom's just not even looking at me. Like she's not trying to help me walk straight or anything. And I'm just like, I'm never drinking Brugal again.
Brugal, I like that.
Yeah, like that's where the story ends.
Drink again, but
Brugal is the choice that I'm never gonna opt in to that one. So like Brugal is never gonna be on my list. As good as the drink is, or whatever the fucking case is.
It's not at all. It's like the worst rum.
It's not the worst rum. I don't think it's the worst rum.
Worst rum. Bacardi's fine. Bacardi's like
have you tried Pirate?
The Pirate one, the Captain Morgan
Pirate
one?
XO.
Oh no, the Pirate.
No, Pirate.
Like
PYRAT.
Yeah,
that's a good one too.
I have tasted that. That and the Kraken one. I like a good fucking.
I'm not a fan of Kraken. Just looks and pours watered down.
I enjoy a good like a bottle that's like, oh, I spent all the marketing is on the fucking bottle. I'm like, all right, I'll get that thing. I'll get that.
You spend all the money on the bottle.
Yeah,
and
we have to make it
production
good.
of good fucking liquor. Good.
I appreciate that you went the extra step to trick me into buying it. Like if a Skull vodka or some shit, I'm like, all right, I'll try this. I know it's not going to be good. I know it's like if there's a tequila in a Skull, like you're like, all right, I'm going to buy it. It's in a goddamn Skull. Obviously, I'm going to fucking buy it. But it's not going to be good. But I appreciate you're tricking me into buying this bottle.
I do buy into the gimmicks. I'm a big fan of it.
What about the Mexican piss, the tequilas?
Oh God.
Okay, so if I had to, you know what? I can't. You know what? My best recommendation on tequila would be not to buy tequila.
Don't drink tequila.
just don't do it.
Again, if you're gonna drink tequila, you got to go all in and get the one with the dead worm on the bottom. Like know that
that's
you're
not
drinking
tequila
shit.
Though. That's mezcal.
Yeah. Well, I guess mezcal. That's not.
So what?
Yeah.
Wait, what would be your? Because you sound like you're a tequila advocate.
I
here.
was into tequila at the end, like the beginning of college, end of high school. Like when I started drinking again, I was like, oh, I'll drink tequila.
You want me to tell you something? My first son was born off of tequila.
Oh God, not tequila. I think it was more Xanax. We can
well,
talk about that
that's a whole different story. That's a whole
yeah.
different story. But.
So, conceived or born?
Conceived. I'm sorry, not born off tequila. Like I wasn't. Carolina wasn't drunk
in my house. Both belligerent, both fighting with all the peoples. She wasn't in the room.
She wasn't in the room drinking. That's not what I meant. I'm conceived. Okay. The day he was conceived, I was under the influence of tequila, and it's not a good decision-making drink.
Nope, not at all.
I wouldn't recommend it to any.
I've tried to get into tequilas and I can't. Like I can't.
No, you know what? Look, let me tell you. My favorite mixed drink is a tequila sunrise.
What?
Yes, that's my.
I like
favorite
a margarita,
drink.
but like for like a lunch or some shit.
No, fuck margaritas. They're salty.
I like salt.
No, that's tequila sunrise is my favorite drink. A little bit of grenadine, some OJ.
You're so gay.
Hey, call me what you want, man.
You look gay.
That drink is delicious.
So gay.
I'll drink it with a straw.
If it was more socially accepted, you'd be sucking so many dicks. It'd be crazy. This
is terrible. I don't think this is gonna make it to the podcast, but
this part will be edited. Honestly, for me, for tequilas, I would say Casamigos Reposado. For me,
that's
the
nice one. That's the one with the skulls on it. That the
No. They don't
Casamigos,
have
if I'm not mistaken, is George.
What happened?
You broke up. You broke up.
Casamigos is the one that's owned by George Clooney.
Oh, George Clooney. Okay.
Is he the owner?
I think so. Hold on.
He owns Nescafe.
Wait. I know.
He's fucking putting satellites up.
Ryan Reynolds owns Aviator, right? Like he.
Really?
Yeah. Aviator. Yeah, it is owned by George Clooney and Randy Gerber.
Oh, okay. Shit.
And it was purchased in 2017 from Diageo for $700 million.
What?
And then
if
it performed
where is George
based on numbers,
Clooney getting all these money? Fucking
dude, all his movies.
Ocean 11, like
yeah.
What's the last movie that he did? What's the last movie that he did? He did Ocean's 11,
8.
3 of them and shit. Like that was it.
No, yeah, and then he did Ocean's 8 with the women.
Oh, he was in that one too.
You know what? I didn't watch that movie.
He was I don't know if he was in, but it was still his
executive
concept.
producer and shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, he did.
What the fuck has he done?
Wait, no, he had a movie with Brad Pitt. It was after Ocean's 11. What was it? Burn after reading or some shit.
No, yeah, that's a Coen's brother movie. He did that for free.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
Well, I mean,
that's a great movie. Burn After Reading is amazing.
It's a great
but he
movie,
did that for rate, like whatever, like $10,000 a day or some shit or something, whatever it is.
Is that what at rate is?
Yeah, for him, like an actor like that, like it's nothing. Like he had to be on set for like 2 days or whatever. He had like a little part in that
Can you
movie.
guys cover my cell phone bill?
Those movies are made for free, but they're great movies though. He hasn't made any movies. He owns Nescafe.
Tomorrowland in 2015.
He doesn't own Nescafe.
But that was a flop. Like they paid him to be in it, but that was a flop movie. Like they were gonna make a bunch of those movies. Like
you're talking about Nespresso. The contract he has with Nespresso.
That's I think where he makes his money.
That's just an advertising contract. I don't think he owns.
No. I think he owns Nespresso.
No bullshit.
I think he owns like
I think and he owns.
Yeah,
I'm saying that I think that he owns a controlling share in Nespresso.
No,
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
You're infatuated with George Clooney. Like
I know that he has enough money to launch satellites in over African countries to see if there's fucking war crimes going on.
What?
So he has money.
What are you talking about?
And I think it's because of Nespresso.
He serves on the board.
Oh, you're looking it up right now?
He serves on the board of Nespresso as a global brand ambassador.
Okay,
so he's a IG thought.
Oh, you know what? That's another global head of something that we didn't know about.
There you go.
That's what you want on your business card.
Global. Exactly. You just want to go. I'm gonna start putting that on all my business cards.
Yeah. Global brand ambassador for Nespresso.
Okay, so that makes Oh, I get it. And let me tell you something.
He's not an owner.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Nespresso is my favorite. Fucking
like the Kruig things, like the little.
No, it's so good, bro. It's such good coffee.
I mean, I feel like coffee. Like we should probably get into coffee, and like start tasting new coffees. Yeah.
Did you?
I've never drank
drinking?
coffee, really.
I stopped drinking coffee and I started drinking black tea.
Ooh,
okay, no
black
teas.
tea.
I'm down with teas
fancy.
too.
My
like
D&D group,
Yeah.
my D&D group bought like a tea maker, like a fucking water heater or whatever the fuck.
You know what I don't fuck with? The tea they drink in South America, where like they have like everybody has their own cup.
Ayahuasca.
Not
ayahuasca. Go fuck off. Like
We've all been watching.
You know what I'm talking about? Though.
I was throwing up, and then I saw my ancestors and was fucked up. I don't like that tea.
It's like a little metallic cup where it has a straw.
Oh, matcha.
Yeah. Like that's
mate.
Mate. That's a drink they have in like Argentina and
yeah.
Like I can't fuck with that. Like it's just
No,
the whole.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, like I had it and it was just like I had a bunch of pieces in my mouth.
I get what you're saying. You don't like
Like
that.
I
not
don't
a
like
fan of
leaves
that.
in my mouth.
No, I can't. You know what? I'll tell you right now. I can't drink bubble tea either.
Because of the balls?
The tapioca balls kill me.
Well, like,
No,
you're like
even
I don't
the
like
balls in
balls
his
in my mouth.
No, I like balls in my mouth.
Yeah,
it's just
so
I don't
gay.
like.
Boom, that's gonna be segmented out.
I think that's
the cut it line.
That's the headline for this episode.
I like balls. Of course, I like balls in my mouth.
Balls
No,
in
I
my
just
mouth.
don't like boba tea.
Like when you're drinking bubble tea and those tapioca balls just shoot up because the straw's so thick.
That's what I like
Right.
about it. That's like the whole point of the fucking thing.
No, man, it's terrible. It's something I don't want.
Those are the straws that the new Coke heads go for.
Fucking. all the African descent people that need to sniff cocaine
I need something
that fucking.
in perfect diameter to my nostril.
I need something that makes the McDonald's straw inferior.
I think that's a perfect way to end the episode.
There you go.
Balls in your mouth and cocaine in your nose.
Can I get order of bubble tea? Just straws only. I just
handful
want
of
straws.
I just want a cup full of those tapioca balls.
It's
So I can have
awful,
the
man. Like
balls in my mouth.
I'm not. I don't. I'll tell you right now. It has nothing to do with alcohol or this podcast. I hate bubble tea.
It's so crazy. It was like the most fun thing that I found out recently. You know?
Recently, I've been drinking it for a while and I fucking hate it.
Where you go to Arcade Odyssey and they
But
give you
you've
some
been
boba
drinking
tea.
it for a while and you hate it.
Yeah,
which
because
means
I'm
you are
always-
either.
Because
Which means you are either fluent.
He wants to be an anime, like, what do they call those people? Those weebo people? He wants to be a weebo, but he's not really
He wants
that
to be a
in.
weeb. Senpai, please.
He's like, I can't
Senpai, more boba.
I don't know how to describe it, man. Like I hate to drink, but I constantly order it.
You're like, this'll get me in.
You think it'll like
This'll put my status up where
they'll
send me
they'll finally acknowledge me.
yes.
Senpai,
I am a
notice
weeb.
me, please. More boba
You know what?
tea.
You know what, Pete? I feel bad, man. Like we've had you on here. We talked about no games. Like, what are you playing right now?
I'm boring as hell. I'm still playing PUBG.
You're still on pub?
Did you play the Star Wars game?
I haven't bought it yet because I just built my PC like 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
2,
so
3
you're
I
doing
finished
only
building
PC?
it.
You're doing PC games?
So I've been PC only probably the better part of 3 years now.
Okay, so what do you think of, like, I mean, I know this is super random, but like, what do you think of the Series X?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, really?
I don't know what that is.
The new Xbox.
Like for people like your brother,
What the fuck are you talking about? It's just called Xbox now, right? Like they.
Yeah, like
it's Xbox
my
Series X.
thing
No,
is
the
like,
Series X is like their competitor
version of whatever.
towards people who
Wanna be
are
PC
like
gamers?
Godfrey, who are not technically astute or
Yeah.
who don't want to get into or who
I
don't want
like
to be.
I like when
you know,
we talk shit
bothered.
about Godfrey on this podcast. It's the most fun thing about this podcast that we
The
get to talk
series
shit about
consoles
Godfrey.
are for people who are either not technically astute to build a PC,
Mm-hmm.
or for people who don't want to be bothered with the minutia of day-to-day maintenance of their PC.
You know what? I like that.
that is a good, it's a decent,
Explanation of that. I didn't know. I saw the Series X and then right away like IGN's like Series X is just one of the models. It's just called Xbox now.
well, they may have more than one model
yeah,
available.
that's what I'm saying. Like I think
I
they're
think they're
like
going to do Series X, Series S. Like the Series S is going to be the all-digital streaming
Yeah.
version of it,
I
and then they're
played
going to
and
have the
beat
Xbox.
I played and beat Jedi Fallen Order with 87 completion or whatever, 89%.
Yeah, but at what difficulty?
Mm-hmm.
What the regular? I don't know.
Yeah, 'cause
I didn't go
haven't-
Jedi Master.
I
or
have
whatever the
Jedi
fuck.
Master, and it's fucking tough.
Really?
Yeah, it's really hard. Like the game revolves so much around pairing.
Yes.
Like,
Which is
it's-
true. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, you can get more fucked up if you're on a harder setting.
But you know what? I recommend it. The game's really good.
I just wanted to play the game for the story because I'm a Star Wars dork and like I just wanted to get through it and
Have
the
you
story
seen?
was
Wait,
amazing.
have you seen the new movie, Pete? Or
No, I'm not going to see it until this week. When
are
my
you
family
waiting for your wife?
get here? Yeah, we're waiting
Yeah,
for
all
the wife
right,
and
cool.
kids to go
Yeah,
watch it.
because I haven't seen it yet, and I know Charles has, but I'm waiting till tomorrow. I'm gonna go watch it on
And
Sunday.
I'm also reserving judgment in general until I watch it one more time. I watched it twice. I watched it at 11 o'clock at night on Thursday, and then I had to work early in the morning at 7, so I watched it again after I got out at 9.
And but I have caught up, and I'm 100% caught up. Mandalorian, which I think
Mandalorian. Let me
Mandalorian's
tell you something.
so
Mandalorian is
fucking
so
good.
fucking good.
it's the best Star Wars release since the original trilogy.
Yes, I agree. I
mean, I've read the books.
Well, no, because Clone Wars is up there for me.
Yes.
I mean, like,
I think Clone Wars is my prequels. Like, I don't think of the prequels as the prequels. I think of Clone Wars as the prequels.
As your prequels.
Yes,
I
and
can see that.
Rebels is so like if you follow storylines, and you want the real Star Wars stories, you watch Clone Wars and Rebels. I tried to watch Resistance, but I wasn't into it. I didn't like the animation style, and I didn't like the story that they were going with. I'll go back and watch it, but Filoni needs to be given, and I've heard this through the grapevine of like writers that like talk to people that know people, that Favreau and Filoni are supposed to be the heads of Star Wars going
Well,
into the new
Favreau
thing.
wrote all of Mandalorian, and he is the national treasure. He is the
Absolutely, yeah. He's the guy. He's the guy who
We
takes all
need
our
to-
childhoods and he makes it perfect. Like he puts it all.
He started off the
But-
entire fucking Marvel cinematic.
Filoni
and we
is
saw
an
where that led
exec.
us.
He's an exec on that.
So we need to put him in a fucking iron box and
Protect him at all
feed
costs.
Feed him, hot women and.
But Filoni is the
food
guy.
and-
Filoni is the person who's building the story. He was underneath George Lucas, so like he knows everything from firsthand knowledge from George Lucas, and he brought Favreau on in Clone Wars. Like Favreau was a voice in Clone Wars for the Mandalorians. Like he was like the Death Watch guy. Like he was the bad
Right.
guy from the Death Watch. So like Favreau has been like into this storyline of this. So when we get the full story, because like they're putting out a new season of Clone Wars for Disney Plus that's supposed to talk about the fall of Mandalore, bringing back Ahsoka, meeting Anakin after she's out of the Order. Like,
well, I mean, I haven't watched the new movie, but I heard rumors of Ahsoka in the new movie.
the rumor is of
I don't want to.
but this is not a
I don't wanna hear any of this.
but this is not a spoiler because
I will disconnect. I'll
JJ
disconnect.
JJ came out and
No,
said
no,
like
I don't want to hear it. I've completely
all right,
social
all right,
media.
all right, all right,
I won't
go.
say anything. I won't say anything.
Discord, dude.
All I say is that there's nothing overtly connecting to any other property, is what I will say.
Okay.
Which is what I want from Star Wars moving forward. I don't want to hear Skywalker. I don't want to hear fucking Vader. I don't want to hear Qui-Gon or Kenobi. I want to have
I don't think it's a spoiler, but I don't think they're done with Star Wars is all I'm saying. I think there will be an episode 10.
And that's fine. I'm down with more Star Wars.
I want more episodes. I think because the way they left this series, I think there's room for more chapters. There's more room for more episodes.
And that's fine, but you've got so much opportunity and so much potential lore, and also
so much good
what
story.
I heard, there's a
I just
rumor
listened to
that
all.
They just started using part of KOTOR's canon, even though it was shipped off and pushed away from the original canon. They're starting to bring things in from there. I heard.
Well, I just listened to the most recent 3 books about Thrawn, and I think it's a great trilogy. And if you've watched Rebels, you know what happens to Thrawn, and I think that might be Dave Filoni's way to get into the next saga. Like episode 10 might be Ahsoka looking for the kid, fucking Ezra, and Thrawn. And when you listen to these Thrawn books, it's like you're listening to a book about Nazis, going like, I sympathize with these Nazis.
No.
Look,
that's a good way to end the podcast now.
No.
That would be like Nano's like balls in my mouth. I sympathize with Nami's like that's.
Yeah, no, I'd take balls in my mouth over sympathizing with Nazis.
Over Nazis every day.
Yeah,
over Nazis.
I stand firmly on this one.
Listen to those books, and you'll be rooting for the Empire. Is all I'm saying.
No way. This bullshit.
It's so good. They are so good.
Wait, the Thrawn books?
Thrawn books.
Okay.
Because originally, like, did you ever read Expanded Universe?
Well, the problem is the Expanded Universe is not considered canon.
I'm just saying, but like what Filoni has done, and Timothy Zahn wrote these books, and he's the guy who created the Heir to the Empire. Like, so like Heir to the Empire was an original Thrawn trilogy. So like it was like after Return of the Jedi, there's a new general or a new admiral that like takes over, and like he's very like strategic. Like he's like a tactical genius from a different race, from outside in wild space, like the uncharted parts of space.
Chiss or something like that.
They've brought it into canon by bringing him into Rebels, but they did 3 novels, kind of like this is how they found him. He did it. The middle book was kind of weird because they did like Darth Vader meets fucking homeboy, and they did a whole adventure. That one was kind of like but it gave you like a sense of like, oh, he was been a part of everything. And the third book is kind of like giving you more examples of him like being good. Like he was like he saw the Empire as like a tool to be good. And it's fun because he's like a villain in Rebels, so it's kind of weird that they make him be so good in these books, which means I think Filoni is kind of like tooling that these people are going to do another adventure. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm totally okay. Again, like I said earlier, I'm okay with them bringing in a totally separate storyline that has nothing. And I know in the books, like he's battled Chewbacca and Han Solo and all them, but I would love for them to just take all the expanded universe potential that they have. They don't even have to bring in stuff. If they want to bring in stuff like Darth Revan and that whole storyline from KOTOR, I'm not going to say no. But
that's my next thing. After I read all these canon novels, I want to go back and read all the expanded universe. I want to go back and read that stuff.
But you bring all of those. You don't have to rely on the gimmick of Luke and Yoda and Kenobi and Solo.
Well, you know what? Like, I think it's been overused
material to use. Absolutely.
Yeah, like it's at this point, I want new. You know what I mean? Like I don't want the same. I
agree.
You know,
that's why I like this video.
I don't want them to continue to read.
The Fallen Order was so good because it was like a great new storyline where I was like, oh, there's like a new team. Like they all got together and they did this thing. And at the end, you're like, oh, I want to know that. I want to know the rest of the story. Hopefully, they make either down. It looks like they're making a sequel, which that would suck. Just make a new downloaded mission or some shit.
Oh, what? Fallen Order?
Yeah. They're saying
no. The game's been too successful for them not to make a sequel.
I think
they should just make a downloaded, like a downloaded adventure. I'm down for that.
They're hiring.
I saw that too. Respawn is like hiring teams to be like, do you want to make more action adventure games?
To make more DLC allegedly for
DLC.
Fallen
I'd be down for DLC.
I'm down for that because like, look, honestly, Fallen Order is is up there with one of my favorite Star Wars games.
Star Wars stories. It's a great story.
No, the game overall is really good. Like KOTOR is it's always going to be up there for me. Like Knights of the Old Republic is my favorite overall Star Wars game.
Which I think will be the new trilogy that they do. If Rian Johnson gets a trilogy, I think he does the Old Republic.
I would love that.
I hope so.
I think it's time. I think it's time.
That'd be dope. All right, let's fucking wrap it up. We've been an hour and 30 minutes.
Holy shit, really?
Hold on. Let me read Nano's fucking...
It's like, we have an hour.
Yeah, no. I told him 15 minutes. I told Pete 15 minutes max, and like honestly,
you're a good podcaster. You're way better than Godfrey. Godfrey, we have to get drunk for him to...
Godfrey, we got him here, and he drank a whole bottle.
And that was when he became good. Like, when he drinks, he was real.
Yo, he was all over the place, bro. Like, first of all...
He gave us high school stories of his
first
love
of all,
and shit.
Pete knows Godfrey really well, so he knows Godfrey when he's drunk. And Godfrey goes off the rails a little bit.
Yeah. Which is the best. It's the best Godfrey.
It is the best version of Godfrey.
He kept on digging himself. I was gonna burn him, and like he burned himself like 10 times in the podcast. Where I'm like, oh God, Godfrey.
Wednesday afternoon, 4:03 p.m. I had a question for you. Would you be interested in recording a quick 15-minute conversation with
Yo, you know what? I apologize for the misleading
an hour and 20
information.
minutes later.
Hey, but you know what?
No, it's all good.
It's good to have you on here, Pete. Honestly, I haven't talked to you in a while, man, and I appreciate it.
For sure.
I know you're busy, and you know the whole new lifestyle change and acclimating to a brand new everything.
No, I appreciate it, and it's a good
like
warm up
7
because I'm
o'clock over
actually
there right now.
Being a surprise. I'm actually going to be on GTR show tomorrow.
Oh, giddy up!
Oh shit, really? So
all right.
that was another question I had. Like, are you still Are you still doing features on podcasts? Or are you like more focused on your career right now? Like, what are you doing?
So I wouldn't say I am 100% out. Right now I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment. Half of my gear is still, like I said earlier, in a shipping container from Miami. So I don't have all of my gear. I'm fucking on a headset right now instead of like my microphone and stuff. So I don't have everything. But like Paris has said on the show, when I had my farewell cry tear jerker moment.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I cried a little bit on that one too, bro. I didn't like the episode. Honestly, like I didn't like it because like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not your normal listener. You know what I mean? Like I've been there from day one, and like to hear you.
Oh, shit, you were there. Yeah, absolutely. When you say from day one, you are the day one.
I am. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I am the.
Right. I'm going into trademark lawsuits that Nano's in right now.
Yeah, no, like I don't throw it out there, but like I was there from the creation, like, you know what I mean? And like I know you personally, and it's like to hear that episode, I was like, fuck, man, this kind of hurts. You know, like I didn't want you to leave the episode to leave the show, and of course, like, I'm always gonna stand behind you on whatever you do in life.
Yeah, dude. When you spend 10 years doing something, right? You know, and I had taken a break. I think I took like a 6-month break in the middle, like 5 or 6 years ago, because I just needed to clear my head, and I had a bunch of personal shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you need to, and you see it a lot more now. Content creators are now a commonplace, you know, business and employment. You need to take time for yourself. You need to take those.
Well, it's taxing. Like that shit.
Yeah,
it takes a toll on your psyche. You know,
making content and stuff.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And like I've told this to Godfrey many times, and you can snatch it up right now. Gamertag Video, go get it.
Oh no!
Let me tell you something. That idea has been tossed around. That idea, like you're not.
That's
the
an
one
argument. That's a forever comment.
That's not something that's new, Charles. You didn't make that one up.
It's still available. Is all I'm saying. GoDaddy, you go to gamertagvideo.com. You can get it.
I've been espousing video for 5 years now, and thankful enough that we have that platform on Twitch with a partnership, etc.
Yeah.
Thankful that Paris is as successful as he is. On his YouTube channel, but to be honest, I would love to be able to devote more time to the video side of it. I love the video live side production of it, where Paris really, really thrives on the pre-recorded, edited.
I think Paris's best content is, you know, like unedited, raw. Just you have to get his opinion.
Give your opinion on
exactly
the moment. When it's hot. The hot take. He's like the Hassan Minaj of
exactly. Like my favorite Paris
without the funny part.
My favorite Paris is the
Christ.
unfiltered, unedited Paris, where you can get his full opinion. You know, with no restrictions at all. Like I think that's the best version of Paris, and it's tough because Gamertag Radio, like I don't want to say you put restrictions on people, but like Paris has to watch what he says. You know what I mean? Like it's not like it's not allowing him to be 100% true to his audience. You know, you have to. It's tough.
Are you saying Paris should go out on his own?
No. I think I love Paris as he is now because he the thing is like he's so much of his own person that he's different from Godfrey. You know what I mean? Like
he seems like a Billy Blanks of the Gamertag Radio.
Well, I think I think that's the best part of when the three of us get together is that we all come in with different opinions and differing
when's your last
viewpoints.
When was your last appearance on Gamertag Radio? Like,
I was actually on the after show 2 weeks ago. Like I came in after the fact. And it was like 45 minutes of waxing nostalgic with Danny and Paris on the live stream, and you do this for that long, and you just pick it up like riding a bike. You might wobble a little at the beginning, but at the after a few minutes, you're back to your old self. And like I said, I'm on tomorrow morning for the year-end show.
Well, that's the thing. Like my thing with GTR is like it's better when it's more personal. You know, like.
Of course.
When you're passionate about something and you wanna, you wanna get your message out.
Our best shows are when we're yelling at each other.
Exactly. That's the thing with GTR.
That's when it's raw. It's unfiltered. There's no agenda. It's just no. I disagree with you, Danny. You're wrong. Fuck you.
Yeah. Those are my favorite episodes. You know what I mean? Like when everybody's kind of like just speaking their voice and not and just. They're trying to make a case.
Not doing a review, not doing an ad. When it's just raw, unfiltered discussion where the three of us, we may not all see eye to eye.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? We may okay, I see your point, but I disagree here. And then Danny interrupts like usual. And it's like, fuck you, Danny, for interrupting like you always do. I'm just trying to get my point across.
Every time me and my brother get, like me and Godfrey get together, and it's like, it's constant debates. Like, it's always just a back and forth of like, no, fuck you, you're wrong. Like, this is the way it is. Like, but that's the way we are. Like, I think that's just in general, like how all of us are. Like you, Paris, my brother, like all of us, like we have strong opinions on things that we like and things that we choose to defend. And I think GTR does a good job of like of holding true to like you know what I mean? Like it's just it keeps a true nature of like what you like as a gamer and what you really care about. I don't know. I honestly like. I don't see it anymore. I haven't listened to the podcast in a while.
Maybe they need a producer.
No, I don't think they need a producer. I think they're fine. Like,
no,
GTR's
so
doing
I'm
fine.
gonna ask the bigger question: when is Nano gonna make a return to Gamertag Radio?
I'm never gonna make a return. I've been so fucking busy. Like, look, dude, I left in
But
one.
you have time to do this.
He's been boxed out. He's been. Well, we have like the
No,
one
like,
day. This is one day that Nano said like, let's do a podcast.
Yeah, I'm the one that organized this shit.
Yeah, and that is like to my surprise. I'm like, I have the studio upstairs. You can come and record whenever you want.
That's the thing. Like Charles has a full studio. Like he has 2 floors.
I have video cameras. I have computers. I have the recording device. I have mics that cost a lot of money. Like I have all this shit. And Nano's like, all right, we can do one episode today.
You know what? Like my biggest thing was like I left GTR because I was young. And I wanted to hang out over like putting work in, and whatever. That's when you took in and you took over and you kind of joined GTR and you took over my spot as Godfrey's right hand man. You know what I mean?
I took over because I bothered the shit out of Danny to freaking let me on, to let me do something, and then he's like, all right,
yeah,
let's see what you got.
At the time,
San Francisco.
Godfrey needed the help. You know what I mean? Like Godfrey as much as Godfrey does,
I'm
he
surprised
still
Godfrey
needs
doesn't
support.
come to me to go do shit. Like I've done, like even in the Gamertag Radio's days when he would do his on-site interviews, and he's like, "Oh, I need a video person." Like me and Nano did like what is it, like the Mafia game?
The Mafia 2 party. I
We
forget
did
what it was.
It was like in that. It was like in a club.
It's when
We
Mayday.
did like a video.
You remember that event? Like Mayday came over.
Absolutely.
It was
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
I went and
Mayday,
did a
we
lot of
had
video for
Artific-
that. There was
We
another
had
time where he
Garcia.
was going to go interview Snoop Dogg, and he called me up, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll go do that." And again, Godfrey's not the most reciprocal person. Like he never gave me a video game, like when there was discs. Like he never like was like, "Hey man, I thank you for the thing like that you did for free.
Here's this game.
Here's a video game of the thing that you did." Like he was never that type of person. But I've never been like, "Oh, I need something," but like not he can come whenever he wants and use my space to do shit, like to do stuff, and he doesn't. I don't know why. He's fine.
Well,
he's fine.
He's not
doing
going to
what
do
he-
that now. He's in New York.
Well, no. I mean, honestly, like I've never pursued podcasting as much as you guys have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I when we started GTR, you know, like it was literally from my bedroom. Like Godfrey came into my room. He was like, "Yo, like I have this idea," and we started talking about it. And that's how it spawned. You know, like we recorded outside of my dad's house in the car.
I remember them telling me about it. I'm like, "What do you mean you're doing radio for the internet? The fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, no. Like the whole idea, it came from, you know, just a love of video games and like wanting to discuss, you know, our opinions and get other people's opinions and kind of like go back and forth. But I fell out of it just because I was so young and I wanted to hang out. You know, like I didn't see the future in it. And Godfrey has taken it and taken GTR to what it is right now.
That's why I gave him I was like, don't give
sure.
away your shit. Like if you have to get a job where they say you can't be Gamertag Radio anymore, like that's not worth it.
No, I'm happy where it is now. Like, and what he did with you and, you know, with Pete and with Paris and what, like, the team that he built was better than the team that we started with, obviously, because it was just me and him. But
Bam was there.
I think it's
Don't
grown
fucking
to,
count Bam out.
No,
he's gonna be listening to
you
this
know what's
going
fucked
like,
up? Like, look, like I don't know how much you remember or how much you know about like the beginning of GTR, but me and Bam did all editing. Don't let Godfrey tell you anything. Like me and Bam did everything.
I don't think. I mean, again, this is me just talking shit, but I don't think Godfrey knows how to edit things, right?
No, Godfrey's gotten good. He uses GarageBand. I don't know what to say. Like, he doesn't know how to edit that good, but like Godfrey uses GarageBand pretty good now.
This is me again talking shit about Godfrey. I love him.
Yeah, he's come
a long way. He's come a long way.
Really good.
But from where we started, which was my bedroom, to where it is now, it's amazing to where it's gotten. You know.
I'm just saying, like, he has a platform that has an X amount of viewers. Like, he can start bringing people on to do shit and, like, actually make, like, how you were saying, like, he needs to make money. Like, advertising makes money. Like, if you can just do a show, because there's no G4 anymore. There's no video game. IGN's not a fucking place to watch video game videos anymore. Like, you need a place, and he could be the place on YouTube, but he doesn't do YouTube.
Well, I think Paris' YouTube is doing really good, right? Like Paris' YouTube is going.
That's the thing, and that's what I was mentioning. I really enjoy the Twitch component. Paris really likes the YouTube pre-recorded, pre-video.
And you know what? You can do more with editing.
I'll be honest with you. Paris is actually really good with that. Like he's got
We
everything.
all have our niche.
Yeah, exactly.
We all have our specialty. And Danny, obviously, with the podcasting, that's his bread and butter. He sees the video and he knows that video is there, but that's not his shtick. That's not his thing. But if you want to make money, so he's not
you want more
pursue
people.
It.
So if you can get the same amount of people that listen to your audio to watch your video, then that's double, because it's not the same people.
Of course.
It's not the same people.
But the thing is, honestly, it's consistency.
It's
really difficult.
Which is why we, at Gentleman's Agreement, fail in this, because there's no consistency at all.
There is none. We are like the absentee father that comes around once a year.
We are the British TV
sitcom. You all went to get milk, and
we never came back.
We are The Office from England, where you get one season and then like a holiday special and then another season and then we're over.
It's just look, honestly, like podcasting over content over you know, hosts.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to put out there, like consistency is the key.
Yeah. Even if you're a shitty host, if you're a Godfrey, you do one every week. You're gonna get.
Did you say he's a shitty host?
I'm just saying. If you do one every week nonstop, people are gonna listen to you. Even if you're Howard Stern.
Well, that's the thing. We do the video, and I say we. And,
yeah.
Danny and Paris do the Sunday morning show every Sunday.
Yeah.
We used to do every Wednesday, and because I was the one behind the boards on Wednesdays and Sundays, it wasn't a big deal. Because if I had to do something, worst case scenario, Paris knew enough about Twitch that he could take over and he could host the show.
Okay.
You know, from a Twitch perspective. But with me having been gone since July, we don't do a Wednesday show, and it doesn't help that I'm 6 hours ahead.
Has it been that long, Pete?
You know what? I liked that when Godfrey got into Twitch, he's like, Café con Dani.
Yeah. I thought it was... I loved the fact that he did it.
It was super corny,
unfortunately,
but you can't do that every day. Café con
it's
Dani.
difficult. It's difficult. It's not easy, and that's where a lot of people... That's where a lot of people fall out. Because people see Ninja making, millions of dollars a year.
You can't get discouraged. Like you can't. That's the thing with the
content creators in general.
Yeah, the content creators now, and like the new wave of those of this generation of content creators. Like there's a huge level of discouragement when you compare yourself to like these bigger names, and you can't do that. You know what I mean? Like you have to build your own brand. And
you have to put in time. You can't do it overnight. Like,
it's
all the people that are just now getting big, like the Gothalians, the Dr. Disrespects. They started 5 years ago.
Exactly.
Okay, fine. They started getting really popular 2, maybe 3 years ago, but they had to have those 2 years of where they were working their 9 to 5 and then coming in and putting 3 to 5 hours of stream time just to build that audience and build your brand and get people to watch you consistently. And they're not going to do that if you are not consistent yourself to the platform or to the content itself. So, wow, holy shit. We went from drinking
I know. I love that the 15-minute conversation, like the little conversation that you're supposed to have turned into like, this is how you become popular on the internet.
Here's a 2-hour segment on.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, it's just starting to get into dangerous. Like shit.
I like that
it's
because
8 o'clock now. I haven't even eaten dinner, drinking it.
I like that. I like when we have people on that love, like, because I liked when Godfrey came on and talked about like how he started. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Like he was doing it on the tape and shit. Like he was doing shit that I didn't know
what though?
about.
Like Godfrey.
I like that. I like that people come in and talk, because I work with someone every week that does like a podcast that doesn't listen to other podcasts, and it baffles me. I'm like, why the fuck don't you do some research?
Well, that's me raising my hand. That's me. I didn't start listening to podcasts until well after I started.
So what podcasts? What are some of your favorite podcasts right now?
Now. Hold on, let me go to my phone.
Do you do political? Do you do genre?
No, I hate politics. Podcasts right now that I listen to, my most would be the Joe Budden podcast.
Joe Budden?
Wow. Joe Budden podcast.
Wow.
Rory and Mal.
I honestly like Bill Burr's podcast is like my number one right now.
You like a guy who rants into the fucking...
I like a guy who just talks shit.
So how do you not like Tubbs? He loves to rant into the airwaves.
Because he's a moron. I know him personally.
But so is fucking Bill Burr. He's a moron.
Yeah, but Bill Burr is funny.
A funny moron.
That's true.
Tubbs is just depressing.
That's true.
99% Invisible.
99%. Okay, yeah, I've heard about that one.
Whose podcast is that?
99%. Roman Mars. He's an award-winning podcaster. Phenomenal stuff. Ariel Hawani's MMA show.
Yes.
Killa Kella. He's a DJ.
Okay.
If you listened, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, he had Craze on.
Oh, really?
But you know Craze personally, right? Like
I know Craze. Yeah, I know.
So you're a hip hop dude. Like you just want it all hip hop.
No, dude. If you listen to my stuff, like right now, I'm all over the place between hip hop, heavy metal, podcasts, drum and bass, electronic music.
Okay. All right.
I listen to everything except country.
Hey, listen to some. What was homeboy's name? There was a comedian that became a fucking Wheeler Walker Jr. Listen to some Wheeler Walker Jr. That's country that you can listen to.
Uh,
I'm telling you.
I won't stand that, but I'll have to.
Yeah, listen to it and tell me what you think. Well, we'll do another couple. We'll do another couple episodes.
Sure.
Before our season's done.
I think we can squeeze in one more.
Yes.
I don't know about a couple. Honestly, I'm gonna be straight up. Like
that's
Pete,
it.
Like I mentioned before, I'm trying to get into the IT field. So
IT's the perfect field. Like no one knows you. Like you can do whatever the fuck you want.
No. And I would ghost into it. Like I'd literally just transition like Phantasm into it. But
I thought you were like going like, I don't want people listening to me and not hiring me because of my.
No, it's just I've been busy, man. Like I've been studying for my certifications and like doing a bunch of shit on my own. And I have my regular job, which I'm working, and it's
all that shit.
I have kids, dog. Like
my
there's a
job
lot on my
happens
plate.
to afford me the space to record a place that I can't record in most often, but I get it. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, like I'm busy.
Life gets in the way.
It does. It gets totally in the way, and it's just
which I'm fine.
It's an order of priority.
That's why I'm recording this in video format so that we can just do YouTube. We don't have to worry about bandwidth in that sense.
I don't want people to see me. I don't want people to see me.
No, you're a beautiful man.
No,
you're literally our eye candy.
No.
I'm a hideous mess. I'm losing my hair.
I can't do that.
I look horrible. Like you look good. You're the goddamn reason that we're doing the podcast.
No. Don't want that responsibility.
All right. These are conversations for off air. Let's close it up.
Thank
you very much, fucking Pete Rock, formerly of Gamertag Radio, now of Switzerland.
Now he's a German.
Now he's neutral.
Now, I don't know what
he's neutral.
Like I don't know what language are you
He's
speaking
neutral
now?
in World War II. In World War III, we don't know what happens.
No. I still speak English.
No, that's true. That's true. But
like,
there's a lot of English speakers.
They've said it on the podcast several times. I am not done with Gamertag Radio. There will be a return. It'll be in 2020 though.
2020. That's like
is
right
it
around.
tough?
It's literally like a couple weeks away. Like you're
is
back.
it tough, because I know how it was for me to drop something so significant to my life, like something that was so engulfed in like what I did every day, like GTR, because me and Godfrey started it, but like you took over after I left, and you had way more involvement than I did. Is it tough for you to transition out of that lifestyle, like out of GTR?
It was not hard because I then
like,
gained.
Fuck Godfrey.
I then gained 3, maybe 4 hours of
free
week.
time.
So
yeah, you can play games. You can play games
I could
again.
sleep in.
I didn't know I could do this
on Sundays. Yeah, because my routine was Saturdays was the only day that I could sleep because I had to wake up early from Monday through Friday, and then Sundays I had to wake up early to do the show.
Yeah.
So Saturdays, my wife and kids knew that I'm not going to bother him because Saturday's the only day that I can sleep. I can sleep past 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. So I would take advantage of that and wake up at like 9:30 and not have to worry about it. But if I had to wake up on Sundays to do the show, that was a pain in the ass. Now with me here, and that Danny and Parrish really don't do a lot of the Wednesday night shows, and that for me is 3:30 in the morning. So I'm not gonna do that.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
I love talking to a podcaster. This guy speaks. Like there's other people that we get on. Like we had Homegirl on, and like she would be like laughing and giggling and shit, and then be quiet. Like fucking, you know how to talk on a
you know what? It's like
radio
it's tough.
show.
When you have a guest who thinks they can project their cuteness,
through the microphone.
Yeah, it's like
yeah, we all want to fuck you, but like no one can see that. No one can see that.
Wow.
Jesus Christ! I didn't say that. I didn't.
Yeah,
I don't agree. I don't agree with that statement at all.
As D-Boy's ex-girlfriend, he's on the couch.
Although I'll say that he isn't wrong, but
D-Boy's on the couch right now, going like, "Yeah, motherfucker."
Oh man, yeah. Oh shit, we have our ex-boyfriend right here, like just standing.
Yeah,
he's sitting on the couch.
All right.
Well, we appreciate your time. We'll be back eventually, but fucking for the world, for the internet, peace.
Paris. What the fuck
wow, you just called me Paris.
I did. You know what?
Show.
Hey, let me tell you something. I have a personal vendetta against Paris.
Because he's so muscular?
No, because Pete easily Pete didn't question me joining his Plex. He added me to Plex so I could stream.
I don't know what Plex is.
Bro, like you stream movies and shit like that's on your hard drive.
Okay, so it's like a
It's
streaming.
a file sharing.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So Pete invited me to his server with ease, and you know what? Because me and Pete were friends. Paris, on the other hand, I asked him
Fuck
personally, and he said
No.
He said no. He said yes, and he hasn't done it yet.
Oh,
and it's been
okay.
like 4 months. I don't know, Pete. I don't know when it was.
Does
that
he
I asked
get
you.
like screeners or something? Like, does he have something special?
No, I think Paris just hates me.
No,
But
we
it's
all do the same thing. We all have the same thing. Like mine is Yak Flicks, Paris's is Black Flicks. I've got like.
Did you say Black Flicks?
He is an
Yeah.
African American male.
Yeah,
so.
he's black. But yeah, his is. I don't know how much he has in comparison to mine, like total storage.
No,
but
honestly,
I've got-
honestly, I don't,
I've got like
I
5
don't care.
terabytes of-
I didn't give a
video
shit
content
because
on my
like,
server.
if anything, I saw a few things off of your Plex. You know what I mean? But like, I didn't abuse it. You know what I mean? I just wanted to see all the
Hey,
DC films
hey,
and shit.
No one cares. Fucking wrap it up, bro.
No. I'm gonna get this message out there.
Oh, I stopped
Paris.
recording already. So.
No, Paris is a piece of shit. Paris.
This is for
Paris,
our B-roll.
I hope this makes it to the cut. Paris, I want you to give me access. You're an asshole for not giving it to me.
We appreciate your time, Pete.
Nah, no worries. Thank
All
you.
right, man.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Whenever you want, we will talk shit.
Yeah,
Like if you want to, after you watch Star Wars, if you want to do another one, I'm down to do a Star Wars podcast.
Sure, I'm cool with that.
Wait, are you
how
planning
do
to
you
watch
want
it
me
this
send
weekend?
to you?
You said your wife
no, it
gets
won't
there,
be
right?
until- it won't
It'll
be
like
until-
till after Christmas, right?
Yeah, it'll be after Christmas.
All right,
I'll wait for the kids
I'm
to
planning on
watch
watching it on Sunday, so we'll see.
How do you want me to send you this audio?
Just email it or Google Drive it or whatever the fuck to.
Okay, yeah, I'll send it via Google Drive because it is.
It's fine. Send it to Nano. He'll send it to me.
Yep, got it.
Okay,
right.
no, I need your email address then because.
Nano551 at Gmail.
At Gmail.
Oh, okay. All right, I can send that. That's easy.
It's my gamer tag at Gmail. So it's.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Peace.
All right, dude. Peace out.